Hello guys, welcome back to Watch Addiction Watch Reviews. Today I have this nice Pelican box in front of me, and today we are taking a look at a brand that this channel has never actually seen before. This is Obris Morgan, based in Hong Kong. This is their 1970s SeaStar watch, and I'm pretty impressed by the watch so far. I've been using it for a few days, and it's a pretty nice watch. Here's the packaging it comes in. As you can see, nice Peli style box with two flip open right here. And then inside the box you get a whole bunch of goodies. I took the watch out because I sized the bracelet already. But as you can see, you get a polishing cloth, your warranty card, you get your extra rubber strap, a spring bar tool, extra spring bars, and there is a little thing in here which shows you that they regulated the movement to +6 seconds a day. Which is pretty cool. So a lot of nice extras in this box. The rubber strap is really nice. I'll show you that towards the end of the video. It's actually a real rubber strap, not a silicone strap. And yeah, that's just an all-around good look at the box here. Let's take a look at the watch. Before getting into the watch, I want to do my quick wristwatch check. I am wearing this newly acquired Tissot Swissmatic V8. This is one of their newer Baselworld 2019 releases. A really cool watch. I took it off the bracelet. I still have to size the bracelet, but this will be coming up for review pretty soon, so stay tuned. Now, here is the Obris Morgan SeaStar 70s. They did do a version called the SeaStar 60s before this. I did not get to take a look at that watch, but as you can see, I believe they did revise the logo. I know some of their older watches said Obris Morgan. This has the new revised logo under the 12 o'clock position, as you can see there. This model has a nice black enamel sunburst dial, which is very nice, as you can see there, that sunburst effect. Yeah, obviously it's a dive watch. It has 200 meters of water resistance. It's a very well made watch. I did notice that compared to some of the other micro brands I've taken a look at in the past few years. Now, some basic dimensions on this timepiece. It has a nice set of specifications as well. So we are looking at a case diameter. I did measure with my calipers, not going by what they say on the website. I did get 39.5 across. Obviously it's going to be bigger with the crown. In terms of lug to lug width, I got 49 millimeters. It states 50 on the website, but obviously 40. It was about 49.3 or 4, so I just rounded down to 49 millimeters. That is lug to lug. We have a 20 millimeter lug width here. And then we have the thickness, which did come in at, I believe, 11.6. Yep, 11.6. It's relatively thin. If you take a look at that case, very thin, 11.6. If you include the crystal, or the one that comes with the domed crystal, the double domed crystal, it is 12, but this is 11.6 here. Anyway, there are two types of finishes on this case. You can get a PVD black. I believe you can get the sandblasted finish, which you're taking a look at today, which I think is the best option. It's just very clean. It's very well done. The sandblasted finish all around, from the case to the bracelet to the crown to the bezel. Everything is very smooth and very fine-tuned. You can also get a standard stainless steel. So this obviously is solid 316L stainless steel with a sandblasted finish over that. Very nice, as you can see here. Everything, you can get a look at the case back there with the nice SeaStar. Very cool watch. Obviously this is following a 70s vintage vibe, as you can tell, which I happen to like, you know. Vintage is the new thing, so a lot of brands are really taking on the whole vintage thing now, including the main Swiss brands as well. You see a lot of them are coming out with watches that resemble the 60s or 70s or even 80s. Anyway, getting those dimensions out of the way, it does fit nice on my 6.5 inch wrist. Now, the watch is 200 meters water resistant, and we do get that HE valve, that helium escape valve over here at the 4 o'clock position, which I don't know. I don't really know if that's necessary, but I think it looks kind of cool. It makes the watch look a bit more technical, and it kind of looks a bit more 70s in my opinion. They did some more quirky things back then on most of their watches. But anyway, our typical crown's at the 3 o'clock, which will operate the movement. So the dial is black enamel and a sunburst effect there, as you can see. Kind of gives off shades of black and gray. We get a sapphire crystal anti-reflective coating on the underside. We get chrome applied markers with hand-filled Swiss BGW9 Loom, which does glow blue. We have neon green accent on the sweeping seconds hand to match the 200 meters above the 6 o'clock position. You have your Obris Morgan logo printed below the 12 o'clock position. We have loomed hands, and we have a loomed sapphire bezel, which is pretty cool. It's 120 clicks. It's a 12-hour bezel. So it's not a dive bezel, it's actually a 12-hour bezel, even though you can use it the same way if you wanted to. It's times 60 minutes if you really wanted to. bezel's 120 clicks, and the bezel action is very good on this model. I did realize it's just listen to that. Very good, but very minimal back play. Everything does line up to the 12 o'clock position there, so there are no issues with that. Very nice. And yeah, the bezel action was probably one of the things that really surprised me the most, as well as the case build. This is definitely one of the better quality Microbrands out there. I did notice that right away when I picked it up out of the box. The bracelet itself is very nice. We have a 2-button opens here. Nice milled clasp here. Very solid push down here. It's not going to come loose. You have 4 micro adjustments. Now the bracelet, I removed 3 links from each side. So if you have a big wrist, you're definitely going to have no issue with this watch. If you have like an 8-inch wrist or even 8.5 inches, you should have no issue there. And if also you did not notice, you do get drilled lug holes. So you can really change out the strap to the rubber strap that comes in the box in like 30 seconds if you really wanted to. So that's nice that they did that. You know, it is a watch inspired from the 70s, and most of the watches back then did have drilled lug holes. So that is no surprise to me. The crown itself is signed with S for SeaStar, which does match the nice SeaStar on the screw-down caseback. Now, something interesting below this screw-down caseback with that nice star, get you a closer look at that very detailed star there. There is a metal or a shield actually below this on top of the Miyota 9015 for anti-magnetic property. I think that's pretty cool. I've never seen another Microbrand actually do that. I think that's very cool. So you should have no issues with anti-magnetic stuff on this watch. Anyway, the movement inside, most of you guys are probably familiar with it. It's the 4 Hertz Miyota 9015. Most of you guys know this movement. It's a very popular movement, kind of like the Japanese version of the ETA 2824 Sleeta SW200. It has about a 42-hour power reserve. It beats at 4 Hertz or 28,800 beats per hour. It's pretty accurate. They do regulate these movements. As you can see on the card, this one is gaining +6 seconds a day, which is perfect for me. You know, even if it was +7 or 8, I wouldn't really mind. And since we do have that metal plate covering the actual movement, or hovering above the movement, you don't get that, you can't really hear the movement. Like, you can hear it, but it's really not bad at all compared to some other watches with the 9015, the rotor spin. You don't feel it at all on the wrist, which is great. So I really did like that they did that. Now, to actually function this movement, we're going to unscrew the crown here. Pops out. Very large crown, very easy to grip here. We get self-winding in the first position, and then we do get a quick set date, if I can just move that out of the way there. We do get a quick set date with a black date wheel to match the dial, which is very nice, with a white outlined border. And then our final position is our hacking position. We can set the time. And that's about it. Let me go ahead and screw this crown back in. Okay. Now taking a look at the bracelet. So the bracelet itself is a 3-link bracelet with screw links, which is very nice. These screws are very nice for it. They come out very easily, and they go in very easily. There's no issues there. Pretty simple bracelet, but it does match the case. The solid end links do match perfectly to this case here. So there are no issues there, no gaps or anything like that. It really does match perfectly. And this does sit flat on the case back, as you can see there, which I really do like. Now, some other stuff about this watch. Well, let's get to the Loom. The Loom's actually really good on this watch. It's on the bezel, the hands, the lollipop tip seconds hand, and it is also on the applied chrome markers inside here. So let's take a look at the Loom and see what it's all about. Here is a look at the Loom on the Obris Morgan 70 SeaStar. You can see the hands themselves are a bit brighter than the rotating bezel, which is pretty typical on most watches. But it is pretty potent, it is pretty reactive, and it doesn't really fade quickly. I think it's just fine for this watch. Here's how the watch would look on your wrist if you had a 6.5-inch wrist like me. It's very comfortable. I really like the bracelet. The smooth sandblasted finish is really comfortable. It does not pull hair or anything like that. And as you can see, across my wrist, it's just about, I'd say 1 millimeter over maybe, but it really rides low and conceals nicely on the wrist. I really do like that. There's a little side profile of the bezel. Very good grip on that bezel to turn it. There is the clasp there. All around a very nice looking watch. It's kind of different, you know, it's different than everything else because you do have the helium escape valve at the 4 o'clock right below the crown of the 3. I think it kind of separates itself from the rest. And yeah, definitely looks pretty good on my wrist. Now here is the genuine rubber vanilla scented strap it does come with. So this is not a cheap silicone strap. This is a very nice and flexible vanilla scented genuine rubber strap here. Myself, I am a huge fan of the bracelet. I don't really see a need to change it out. Considering you can bring the bracelet in the water, it's not like it's on a leather strap or anything like that. But it's nice for them to throw this in. It's a good quality strap. You have a nice sandblasted buckle here to match the case finish. Yeah, I mean, I don't see an issue with it. It's very nice. It has kind of these three parts here. I think that's pretty cool. Definitely very different. And it's a good quality strap. Not one you're just going to chuck aside and never use. It is definitely something you will get use out of. So the Obris Morgan 70 SeaStar, well, how much does it cost? It costs about $369 US. That is shipped worldwide. That includes shipping. What do I think about this price? I think it's a pretty fair price, to be quite honest, including shipping, because shipping is not cheap, especially worldwide. It is going to be about 20 or 30, even more than that probably, to ship to other countries. I think the quality definitely is worth the money, in my opinion. I will say that. The quality is very good. The sandblasted finish is very nice. It's very smooth. You get everything you want. A sapphire crystal, including a sapphire bezel. You get the Miyota 9015 high beat movement. You get a very nice and comfortable and fluid bracelet here. And all around, it's one of the better Microbrands, I must admit. I've seen a lot of Microbrand watches, probably about 200 or 300 in my lifetime that I've actually owned. So, I can definitely say from experience that this is one of the better quality Microbrands. And yeah, I think they did a pretty good job on this model. And I can't honestly see anything that I do not like about this watch. Obviously, people are going to say, why do you need a helium escape valve? If this was not on the watch, would it look a lot better? Hey, maybe. Maybe some people like the helium escape valve. It doesn't really dig into my wrist. I don't really have an issue with it. But hey, maybe some people wouldn't like that. I don't really know what else I can find wrong about this watch here. But that's just me. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. As usual, you can find a link to Obris Morgan down in the description below. You can also read the full written review on www.watchaddictchannel.com. That is the blog where I write all the written articles with some nice detailed photos of all the watches I review here. You can also catch me on Instagram at WatchAddictChannel. Hope to see you guys real soon. Hope you enjoyed the video. I have a lot of neat stuff coming up for review, so definitely hit that subscribe button and stay tuned. Bye.